For some reason, Batman just always stood out. It's one of the major characters of the 20th century, and so many people connect to it on such a deep level and for so many different reasons. The first conversation I had with Matt about it, I just knew there was something radically different from anything we'd seen in Batman movies before.
I felt that we'd seen lots of origin stories. We'd seen things go further and further into fantasy. And I thought, well, one place we haven't been is grounding it the way that Year One does, to come right in to a young Batman, not be an origin tale, but refer to his origins and shake into his core.
Right from the beginning, there's a desperation to it. He's really working out this rage. All the fights seem very personal.
What's so wonderful about this world is the exploration of the gray area. Catwoman really wants to fight for those who don't have someone else to fight for them. And that's where Batman and her really connect.
He wants to inflict his kind of justice. He's just compelled to do it. There is no other option.
I've loved Batman since I was a kid. The story is a very psychological one. He's basically coping with things that happened to him as a child, and he's driven to try and make sense of his life.
What I'm doing is my family's legacy.
Matt didn't show me a script or anything, but just kind of said the tone, and it sounded quite radically different from anything we'd seen in Batman movies before.
I don't think I've ever worked with someone who pays attention to detail like him.
Hey, Vincent!
I didn't want to do an origin tale because I felt that we had seen the origin tale done more than once. I wanted him to not have figured out how to be Batman yet, and I wanted to make him the world's greatest detective.
The killer left this for the Batman. Why is he writing to you?
The origin is DC, Detective Comics. Just takes us back to the core of what Batman is and what Gordon is.
Any of this mean anything to you?
I wanted him to use that phrase that is in so many of the comics, I'm vengeance, because this is a personal mission. But there is a dark side to this idea of vengeance.
Batman is very much about the psychological investigation of a character that is caught in his own moral maze.
He outmatches these people because he's fighting a stranger as if they have personally harmed him. I think in a way he's imagining that these are the people who killed his parents, like every single one of them.
It's not about black and white. It's not about good and evil. There's just so much in the gray.
Gotham is a really, really scary place. And so all of that as a world is incredibly rich for a filmmaker.
Watch it, fellas. You got the prince of the city.
There is a very rich, very protected and revered history to this character of Batman and to this world of Gotham and these criminals.
I think Matt has put all of himself into the script in this film. I think he's got a lot of him in there. I've got a lot of me in there, yet it's the Batman, it's the Riddler.
The Batman story has endured for 80 years. He doesn't have superpowers. What he has is a super heroic drive to try to make the world better.
This guy's crazy!
When that light hits the sky, it's not just a call, it's a warning.
I wouldn't call Selina a villain. There's just so much in the gray.
We're pretty good at that.
That their idea of what justice is might be a little bit different.
Who are you under there? What are you hiding?
There was no question in my mind that Zoe was going to be a great Selina Kyle. I could feel that this was a character that she felt a connection to.
You got a lot of cats.
I have a thing about strays.
He really struggles to think, you are on the bad side, that I like you.
I really felt for her, her story, her past, her strength. I really found a character who was more than just a sidekick or more than just a good-looking girl in a tight outfit. She's a survivor.
Wish no idea.
The bat and the cat. It's got a nice ring.
She really wants to fight for those who don't have someone else to fight for them.
These two characters, they relate to each other, and she's this mirror image of him, and yet they're so damaged in their own way.
If we don't stand up, no one will.
They're both people who aren't afraid to die for what they believe in. And I think that is where Batman and her really connect.
It's only gonna get worse for you. It'll be bloody.
I know.
I think she's ready to raise some hell.
Selena, don't throw your life away.
Don't worry, honey. I got 9 of them.
I'm your secret friend. What does a liar do when he's dead? Any of this mean anything to you?
I've been trying to reach you.
Riddler's asking for you.
Normally, Batman seems to hold all the strings. The plan is entirely his, but in this, Batman's quite often on the back foot. He's still trying to figure out exactly what Batman is.
The city streets are crowded for the holiday. Even with the rain, hidden in the chaos is the element, waiting to strike like snakes.
Bastard murders you and your reputation.
Maybe he's not who you thought.
You make it sound like he had it coming.
Seeing the Batman was probably one of those transcendent moments in his life. Without the Batman, he would never have the Riddler.
I hope you're listening. Gotham needs you.
The hell are you supposed to be?
The Riddler lends itself to allowing us to go back to the origins of the Batman, which is DC. It's Detective Comics.
I wanted to see a Batman that was challenged by these crimes, who was a little bit in a free fall.
The Riddler is more similar to him than Bruce would like to really admit. It's extremely troubling. The only difference in a lot of ways is that the Riddler follows through and his justice is fatal.
I felt that this idea of putting on masks and hiding your identity for people, that the power would come from that.
I'm just an instrument, here to unmask the truth.
Unmask.
You're part of this too.
The Riddler seems to know secrets about Batman and Bruce that even Bruce didn't know. So it's a very reactive version of Batman that I don't think we usually get.
Riddler's asking for you.
This is by far the most major adversary he's come across.
The killer left this for the Batman. Why is he writing to you? I've been trying to reach you. You're part of this too. Bruce.
How am I part of this?
Oh, you're really not as smart as I thought you were.
Thank God.
It's Gotham in a way that I haven't seen before. Gordon reaches out to Batman, I think, out of a level of desperation.
Unbelievable breaking news. Gotham mayor was murdered last night.
We have a villain in the Riddler who's all about clues.
And also, the Riddler is addressing everything directly to Batman.
Any of this mean anything to you?
You're pretty good at that.
Catwoman meets Batman, who's looking for a serial killer in Gotham.
You a new friend of yours?
I'm not so sure.
They're both people who fight for what they believe in. They aren't afraid to die for what they believe in.
What's black and blue and dead all over?
He wants to end up punishing the Riddler because he's being a mirror to Bruce's secrets.
Riddler's latest. It's all about the Waynes.
All these years, you lied to me, Alfred.
I'm just here to unmask the truth about this cesspool we call a city.
Maybe this is all coming to an end.
Hey, Vincent!
We all have our scars, Bruce.